Hello everyone, Spencer R here, and I'm back once again to finally doing another TV video. Now in this video, I will be going through Disney Junior for weekdays, Boomerang for weekdays, starting the 23rd, Cartoon Network schedule for President's Day, Adult Swim schedule for this week, especially Checkered Past, Nick Jr. schedule for weekdays and weekends, Nicktoon schedule for weekdays and weekends, and Nickelodeon schedule for weekdays and weekends. So it's a lot to go through. Not so much time I plan to film. So let's just get this show on the road instantly. So let's start out with Disney Junior because there is a surprise going on here. So we get all these. Pretty much the same old schedule as usual. But coming up is a surprise. At 11:25, we get, let me actually show it to you, Sophia the First on Disney Junior, which I think is a pretty big surprise because this is an older series, obviously. So it's kind of cool how they're bringing the show back, even though it is pretty random. And, well, that would be it, but let's just show off the rest of the schedule just for variety's sake. And the lineup isn't that bad. I mean, we get some shows here and there. It's not terrible like Nickelodeon's channels, but yeah, I'll accept it. Okay. So now let's jump on over to Boomerang. Starting the 23rd. Yeah, the week of the 23rd. So Boomerang's next. And unfortunately, I can only get like the first half of the day, so I'll pretty much do it from midnight through 12 because the rest of the schedule is basically the same. So Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Baby Looney Tunes, Summer Camp Island on Boomerang, which I think is very weird. But at the same time, though, we get the show on CN, Boomerang, and Discovery Family, which I think is dedication. Even though this is a newer show and it doesn't belong to Boomerang, it still gives us variety, so it's not bad. It's not bad, actually. And the rest of the schedule, basically how you would expect it. It's basically on autopilot, according to some Top Cat fan. So yeah, that's it with Boomerang already. So lineup is still good. I'm not gonna talk much about the lineup because we already know it's good. Let's go ahead and go back to President's Day because of CN's schedule. I'm gonna do this first, and then we'll check out Checker Past for this week on Adult Swim. So President's Day, we get regular show. And we get this episode, The Real Thomas, an intern special, in which, fun fact, they're going to air this episode twice in the same day. Just trying to spoil it already, I guess. Cartoonito, which isn't really Cartoonito anymore, but it's still cool how we're getting a half hour of those shows anyway. Gumball, The Looney Tunes Show, the Tom and Jerry Tales. Yeah, Tom and Jerry Tales, not Tom and Jerry Show, like how it normally would do it. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, which is back on the main CN channel after so long. And you know what else is back after so long? The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, which is also cool. Then we get Scooby-Doo Mysteries, Flapjack, Adventure Time, Summer Camp Island, Teen Titans Go, Gumball, and then regular show. And just like I said before, the same episode airs again. So yeah, that's kind of bizarre. I don't think it's a President's Day type episode, but we're still getting a half-hour special on this day anyway, so I guess it's fine. Okay, so now CN's done. I know they have another schedule happening in which I will be doing that sometime next week for stream, like I've already mentioned in a post. So now let's jump on over to Adult Swim's Checker Pass for this week. So obviously we're getting Dexter's Lab for Tuesday the 10th. And then up next, for Wednesday, we get Ed, Edd n Eddy, which comes back again. That's cool. And I really thought that this was the show that would be the new one taking over for Checker Pass. In other words, the new main show. But apparently that's not the case. And I really thought that because they're airing the first episode. But, spoiler warning, Courage the Cowardly Dog is the main show. And I will be showing you that when I show you CN's brand new schedule for next month. But anyways, moving on here. On Thursday, we get The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne, which finally comes back. That's cool. Then, of course, on Friday, the 13th, dun dun dun, we get Courage the Cowardly Dog, which, as I've already mentioned, it's going to be the new main show coming up in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that's cool. Regardless of that, it's great that the show's coming back for an hour anyway before it becomes the main show a couple more weeks later. So yeah, that's great. I do think it's a nice variety here. This is how the schedule should be for Checker Pass. Like, we get Dexter's Lab on Tuesdays, Ed, Edd n Eddy on Wednesdays, Billy and Mandy on Thursdays, Courage on Fridays. Maybe on Monday you can put in something like Checker Pass. I mean, Cartoon Planet or Cow and Chicken or I Am Weasel or something like that. Or how about bringing some more forgotten classic Cartoon Network shows like Time Squad, Robot Jones, Mike Lou and Og. They do have Evil Con Carne, which is cool, but sadly it's only a one-off airing. So that sucks. But yeah, I'm still wishing they could put in 2 more hours replacing Bob's Burgers and Family Guy, but I doubt they're going to do that. So, yeah. But from what we have here, it is okay. Like, it's still a nice variety in old shows anyway. Plus, even if it's a one-off airing, I'm glad Ed, Edd n Eddy's coming back. Too bad they can't make it off for regular CN, like put it on regular CN, but hey, at least we have it anyway, so I'm not going to complain. Plus, Courage will return in a couple weeks, so that's nice. Okay, that's the good stuff out of the way. Got the good stuff out of the way. Now we gotta go to the bad stuff, starting with Nick Jr. So let's push this on over to midnight, and then we'll go to Nick Jr. Okay. Nick Jr. coming up. No, we're not doing T-Nick. We all know T-Nick's schedule, and it's not good at all. So, starting out with weekdays, so we get Bubble Guppies, T-Moomizoomy, Paw Patrol, Rubble and Crew, more Paw Patrol, Rubble and Crew, Bubble Guppies, a pretty long time. And I'm just gonna break it right now. Gabby's Dollhouse is gone. In which, considering the fact that I'm not even interested in the show, nor I like it, in which I don't at all, it's gone, and I don't really care. So we get Rubble and Crew, Paw Patrol the movie, Rubble and Crew, Peppa Pig, Late at Night, which, yeah, first comes Late at Night. Then we get Bubble Guppies, T-Moomizoomy, same stuff for weekdays as usual. But on weekends, we're actually getting a marathon of a certain show. So Saturday, we get Paw Patrol for a long time. Is anyone really even surprised anymore? Like, this is their cash cow, and it's not even a good show. Then we get Bubble Guppies, T-Moomizoomy, more Paw Patrol, Rubble and Crew, Paw Patrol. Then on Sundays, we're getting Peppa Pig for a full day, which I think is pretty interesting. Like, they barely give respects to Peppa Pig anymore. And the fact that they're taking a break from Paw Patrol is pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. So, lineup is not good, obviously. There's no old shows. Nick Jr.'s dead. And can't believe Quaimation tricked us with the fact that he said, like, oh, this is a major overhaul. No, it's not major. They basically just rearranged their shows and took out one of them. It's not major, dude. Sorry. But yeah, this schedule sucks. Not a good schedule. Not good. Though I wouldn't say he, like, really tricked us. But what he said was kind of cap, basically. In other words, not true. But they did change it still. And, of course, it's not a good lineup. So now we're going to jump on over to Nicktoons. Same days. Let's go ahead and jump on over to this one. Yeah, unlucky day. Because their schedules are so bad, of course they feel like they're unlucky. Okay, so let's start with weekdays. So we get SpongeBob, Rock, Paper, Scissors, more SpongeBob. Rock, Paper, Scissors, The Loud House, in which we get 3 episodes, which I find really cool. Wild Pack, Boss Baby, and SpongeBob. So basically they readjusted Nicktoons' schedule a little bit. Like, if you didn't remember, they showed only 2 episodes of The Loud House. So they added an extra one with an extra one replacing a little SpongeBob, which I find cool. And the main reason why they did that is, well, I'll show you in a bit, but it has something to do with Nickelodeon's change. So now we're jumping on to weekends. We get TMNT, and the rest is SpongeBob. I'm not even gonna show you, because Saturday is just SpongeBob SquarePants all day. Then Sunday is the same thing, in which Rain Justinilla was actually wrong about this. He mentioned on his Twitter page that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was only on Sundays, but no, it's on Sunday. Blech, it's on Saturdays as well. So I don't know how you can get that wrong, dude. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is on both weekday mornings, or is on both weekend mornings on Nicktoons, in which I'm actually glad he's wrong, because, yeah. Well, I'm not glad he's wrong, but, yeah. I don't know who thought that, really, aside from him, but they were just wrong. And then they pretty much got rid of the Loud House and Wild Pack's afternoon slots on Sundays. Do not know why they did that, but that was a stupid decision. So, if it wasn't obvious, Nicktoons' schedule sucks. Is it really any surprise by now? No, it isn't, because Nicktoons' schedule is bad. Just bad. It's disgraceful, disgusting, and despicable. What else can I say? Let's move on. So now let's go to Nickelodeon for weekdays and weekends. And I must say, I'm actually disappointed for what they did, but in all honesty, it would make sense. So we get same stuff. We get like 8 freaking hours of Paw Patrol. Like, Nick Jr., I thought you were done with this whole Paw Patrol every episode BS. Can you just show something differently? Like show Dora the Explorer, Blue's Clues, Wonder Pets, Max and Ruby, Backyardigans, Peppa Pig, Rubble and Crew. I don't care, just don't show these stupid dogs so much. Like, I get it. Kids love it, but air something different. Come on! Then we get the Smurfs, Sonic Prime. We get a movie, still keeping that around. So, technically, this is how their schedule would look on other days, but according to other weekdays, sadly, it's the same BS. So this is still the same, an hour of SpongeBob, and then Patrick Star Show. But after 4:30 SpongeBob, it's just extra SpongeBob. So as bad as it is, at least they're not, like, spamming movies, okay? Just give them that. And then on Wednesdays, we're getting NFL Slime Time and Play It Forward, which gives us an hour break from SpongeBob, thank God. But even with this bad change here, they are able to give us a break from SpongeBob. So it's not terrible. At least Friday and like Wednesday schedules are like above average just a little bit, but I'm not saying they're good. Of course not. They're just above average, maybe by 10%. Okay, now for weekend schedule. We get some other shows besides SpongeBob. We get a couple movies. It's only on weekends. It's only on weekends, so it's not that bad, but it still is terrible. And then on Sundays, we get SpongeBob, NFL Slime Time, movie. Okay, that's weird. Obviously, that's just the full Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Then more SpongeBob. Wow, so they're back to this whole movie stuff again. But again, it's only on weekends, so it's not that bad. But still. I really think we should thank Green Justinillo, because if it wasn't for him being so freaking pessimistic, these schedules would have lasted longer. But I don't think this is completely his fault. Let's be real. Like someone on Twitter mentioned that some certain numbers, like the viewers' numbers, would get lower later on, and that's why they had to like dump this whole change. In which, and in all honesty, I suppose it's understandable, because let's be real. The Boss Baby Back in Business, The Loud House, and Wild Pack are all on Nicktoons, and they get extra time followed by reruns. So maybe they're just tuning into this more than the reruns on Nickelodeon. And again, that makes sense. Like, you air them longer for a longer time on Nicktoons than you do on regular Nick. So, in all honesty, I can understand why they took those shows off of Weekdays. Like, come on, guys. Be happy that they did not take these shows off of Nicktoons and replace it with more SpongeBob. Like, that would have been a suckish change. And I know Rain Justin Nillo's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna take these shows off in like another week. Just do watch. Yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, are you guys really this surprised of what I'm about to say? But all these schedules are just bad, especially for like Nickelodeon of Weekdays. But for like Wednesdays and Fridays, once again, they're a little bit above average. But like the other days, they're bad. They're just awful. And something I must say here before closing. Now, what I don't really understand about Cartoon Network, well, the schedules are fine and all, but when it comes to some people, like Colbert Awesome and maybe Jamie Snowden, they say like Cartoon Network schedules are okay, but they're also saying that Cartoon Network sucks. It's like, I don't understand. So, what, you like the schedules, but you're still saying Cartoon Network sucks? Guys, Cartoon Network is not that bad. I keep saying this a million times. Like, are their schedules perfect? No. Do they really, like, give much promos to their, like, well, they kind of do, but, like, do they give themselves that much time? 11 hours? Obviously not, and that's still not very good that they only air for 11 hours per day. But you gotta understand, not much people are watching TV. Not much kids are watching. Only adults are. And that's why Adult Swim is taking over. In which, obviously, we should all know that by now. But what I'm trying to say is, like, these people should just stop giving Cartoon Network disrespect. Like, they are not that bad. Like, once again, they're not perfect, but at least they're trying. Give them some props. If you want to give lots of criticisms to Nickelodeon and Disney, be my guest. But with Cartoon Network, just give them some freaking respect, would ya? God. Like, I'm getting so sick of people always giving Cartoon Network, like disrespect and saying, oh, they suck. Frick Cartoon Network. No, they're not that bad. And I understand you have the rights to your own opinion, but come on, guys. Cartoon Network is not that bad. Nickelodeon is the bad one. Give them lots of hate. But I'm gonna stop here. Thank you guys for watching this quick vid, and stay tuned for more scheduled vids coming up, like when I do Cartoon Network schedule, brand new schedule for next month. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day. Bye.